Last time, I think we were all the way in the archives with the kids, and you led them all the way through the gallery into Cronius Halls, and now into the Almery, where you are trying to find their father. You've done a little bit of exploring. I think you kind of hit a dead end. You're doing a little backtracking, but come across some interesting things. And the last thing you ran into was a little peacock that's made entirely out of keys. And it ruined one of Ovek's gloves, but otherwise seems pretty chill. And I don't think this is really a drawing of where you're at.
No, I think that was the intersection at the south end of the corridor.
Trying to make sense of this map. Yeah, so that was like the farthest right you got before you realized it was a dead end and you backtracked.
Well, not technically a dead end. We just not sure how to get past that reptile sphinx.
Yes, which was in the room kind of left and then back to the right above that over up here. So yes, so in I'll just move you to a new page and kind of draw the basic layout here. But it's a mess, so it's not really right.
Because all the rooms in this place have been perfectly straightforward and logical and well laid
Yeah.
out.
But this is kind of just like weird hallways. So we'll say like this is the peacock. And you got to that from, it has like a kind of door to the bottom and door to the right, as well as going back up. And I believe you've been in the room above. Yes. The room up here is the damaged staircase, one of the other entrances. And you came from the south? Yeah, the south was the balcony. And to the right was the bird that's chained up on a column in the ceiling. Right. That is good handwriting. And so yeah, I believe you were heading back up and to try to find another way around, because you've been following kind of this, what would be your left wall, trying to find another way around, and you haven't really seen one yet. So you still have a wide variety of traveling companions. You got your two moon children and a little, definitely cute and not terrifying little Spot.
What was the problem with the stairs again?
They were mostly okay, but they were just like a little bit worn and weathered.
All right, got it.
They weren't dangerous. So, I think the top of the stairs is on the left, and it kind of splits to go this way and this way. And the first time you went to the right, so you've got to ascend the staircase and go left if you want to return to where you came from.
Wasn't there?
Oh yes, there is also another small room off to this way, so kind of a weird three-way staircase thing. Or it probably kind of goes this way instead. Is that where you'd like to check out next?
It's either that way or we go one room further and check what was further north of the frozen people.
What do you guys think?
I got my going first privileges removed, so I will be playing with the moon children, using my cantrips and all of that. But I'm good wherever we go.
Let's follow the new path. Trying to get you again?
Can you repeat that, Ovek?
Which direction are we trying to get towards again?
Somewhere to the northeast.
Yes, that was kind of what they were intending. But this corner of the maze appears to be dead end, so they're backtracking a bit, going a little bit north, a little bit west to try to get back to where they can go north and east again.
Okay.
We can try the exit near the stairs, or we can go back to the hourglass. It looks like we didn't check two of the ways over there.
Yeah, there is over there. I'm kind of leaning towards going north from the room with the frozen people in it.
Sounds great. Let's do it.
Sorry, the bird was making noise. I didn't catch that. Can you repeat that, please?
I think we are going to head north from the room with the frozen people in it.
Okay. So you climb the staircase, make your way left, and go into the room that has there's some frozen people kind of piled up, and there's also in the side alley there is a cardboard box that you found is full of notes, and there's kind of a terrarium kind of dealio with a piece of rope inside. But from there you see a north path. That leads to a small room. I'll move you over to a new page here. This room, in the center of the east wall, should be to your right, is a carved storm made out of obsidian. Frozen on the brink of the storm is a ship, and it is marvelously carved out of wood, and it's perfect. It goes down to all the little details, and it's like tilting at the moment that it's kind of like lurching on top of a wave into the black obsidian reflecting sea. This is like a three-dimensional piece for sure, including the waves from the bottom of the ship. The masts reach about 6 feet tall, but it's not like directly coming 6 feet out of the wall. It's more upwards.
Well, I'm not touching it.
Yeah, I think we've all learned fairly good lessons about not touching things.
There is a extending hallway to the north. This hallway is lit by a light shining from further north, but kind of in the center of the corridor, like this. There's a stained glass window. Fragments. Yeah, it's kind of just sitting up in the middle of the floor. Fragments of stone that it used to be embedded in are still attached around the sides. The glass depicts a desert of kind of a dark sand, and on the borders of this, kind of strange, half-seen objects seem to like sit in the corners of your eyes.
It does still look like we're in the Almery and not we somehow managed to go back to the gallery.
Yes,
right?
this is
Okay.
the Armory.
And you said it was like standing up in the middle of the corridor
Yes,
somehow?
it's this is a hallway and kind of just sitting in the middle. There's room on either side to walk past, but sitting in the middle is this stained glass window.
Let me see. Does this one have a plaque like the ones in the gallery?
No, that you don't see any writing anywhere.
Okay.
So, is there an exit from this room, or is it just the stained glass
The hallway does continue further north.
without touching that desert thing?
Yes.
So we just keep going north.
Who's going ahead?
So I guess I'll go first.
Okay. Whenever you're about to enter a room, I'm gonna cast resistance, just in case.
Don't forget you still have some remnants of a magical tear that is affecting magic.
Oh, that was for the kids, right?
Yes, I think one of the kids touched the black orb thingy when you first got into the Almery.
Got it. I forgot about that. No, I'm not gonna cast resistance.
Okay, so I'll move you over. This room, the roof is kind of sagging in. It's bigger. There is a column in the center that is kind of supporting it. It's clearly improvised from the smashed up remains of petrified people. You can see
It's made out of smashed up people.
petrified people. So like stone statues of people have been smashed up and shoved together to fit a column, which is holding up the roof right now.
Fabulous.
You're coming in.
There's
from,
no part of this I like.
Coming in from the bottom. There is a hallway with a couple entrances to your left. A small hallway up in the top left, and a larger hallway in the top. Nothing to the right. A lantern hanging from this column is what is illuminating the stained glass behind you.
Is there any indication that the petrified people from the pillar were petrified here or somewhere else?
Nothing in particular, no.
Okay.
I want to look behind us and see if this stained glass window looks the same from this side.
It's definitely darker. The sand was dark, almost black before, so you can't really make out the same details because of the lack of light coming through on the other side. But it doesn't appear to be starkly different.
Okay, good. That corridor and stained glass window decide to really ping my paranoia. So
Is there any indication of what this roof is holding back? Like, is there anything dripping from the ceiling?
No, it's more, there's just like cracks in the rock ceiling. It just looks like more of a natural cave collapse rather than like under an ocean or something like that.
I peek in the room to the left. Do I see anything?
The left is a hallway which has two rooms adjacent. So there's the hallway, which we'll call number 1, and there's a room above and below. So the hallway itself has a little table on it. And on the table is...
Or little candies that say "Eat me."
No, just a small pile of sand.
I'm not going
Sand
anywhere the
candies.
fuck near that sand.
I mean, sand and candies are basically the same, right?
Depends on what you think is candy.
So there's 3 rooms, or the
Yeah.
hallway is 1.
Yeah, the hallway is one, but the hallway also continues further west.
Is it just one pile of sand on the table?
Yes.
Like, in relation to the table, how big is this pile of sand?
The table is probably maybe like 5 foot by 5 foot, and we'll say the pile of sand is like maybe 2 feet around it at the base, or like a 2 feet diameter.
Do I sense any fuckiness from the sand? Like, is it the same time sand?
I mean, you put your hand near it and you feel, just kind of like a little bit of some kind of aura from it, but it'd be difficult to tell if it's the same thing.
So
Definitely magical.
looking ahead, is room 1 open?
1 is just the hallway. The hallway continues into more hallway with more doors up and down.
Is room 2 open?
Yes, these are all open archways which you can peek through.
Yeah. Well, there goes my theory about the sand being a key.
Now that you bring it up, I don't really think we've had too many multi-room puzzles
I'm gonna keep the kids with me so that they don't touch anything. But what do I see on this door?
That door leads to on the floor of the room is a gigantic mosaic map. The proportions are all wild, but it shows kind of a journey across a planet, a world. This journey looks like it appears to start at the door that you're standing at.
Sounds bad.
We have a great track record with floor mosaics.
None of them have tried to kill us yet.
There's been at least one that would have killed us if we done it wrong.
Oh yeah, the lizard at the beginning.
Do I see anything in room 2?
The room to the south appears to be do you have dark vision? Do you carry a torch?
I have dark vision.
There is a large, like rift or like something in the floor, that's cut into the stone. The light from the hallway that you're in is kind of like being bent towards the floor and towards that hole in the floor.
That's a nope. What about room 3?
Three to the north is going to be two polished bronze suns that are kind of two sources of light. One on the left side of the room, one on the right. They are a little bit dim, but they're enough to light the room. Chained between them on the floor is some kind of man, all shriveled. In front of him, or closer to you, on the floor, there is a bowl which contains some kind of black flakes.
Are these suns floating? And what's the scale here?
They're chained to the ceiling. Looks like they have some kind of weight, and they're just hooked to the ceiling. This room is a little bigger than I can draw it here, but
I mean, like, how big are the suns?
I'd say the suns are maybe like 10 feet diameter, and they've got
Fuck.
chains going to this dude who's kind of kneeling on the floor.
And there's no other way out of this room, yes?
Correct. Both number 2 and number 3 appear to be dead ends. But the hallway continues further to the left.
So... This is probably a terrible idea. Can I, like, divide the sand into 2 piles?
Sure. You reach out and touch the sand. Nothing harmful appears to happen. You can kind of split the pile down the middle, and reform it into two distinct piles. I also think it's been a little bit. I'm going to run a quick encounter check, see if anything happens here. It is a return visit from your favorite, beautifully made gemstone hummingbird.
All right, who's got like a glass jar? Because this thing keeps following us around.
It flies right into room 3 over here and bounces on the guy's head a couple times.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought.
That's good enough reason for me to not want to touch it.
Yeah. I was worried if I go in there, I'm going to get chained up between those suns and turned into a mummy.
This is enough to wake him, and
The fuck?
you hear a faint voice, weak, cry out, "Who's there?"
I don't say shit.
Someone, please help me. I could give you power.
Okay, now this is like demons shit.
Well, the alarm bells in my head weren't already ringing.
I don't think we have a good track record of people being chained up.
Mm-mm.
Or accepting promises of gifts and power. Considering we're, here.
I still say nothing.
I think he'd be a nice guy.
You kind of just hear just soft weeping then coming from that room.
By the way, if you're still interested, I have 3 empty alcohol bottles if you want to catch that bird.
I don't know. It seems to be like trying to kill us.
Do the kids react to that old guy?
Actually, yeah, because was he telling the truth?
You did not notice anything coming from the kids.
Didn't it manifest as pain for the person who was talking about?
Oh, does it?
I think it was, or possibly anyone who can hear it. I don't remember.
Because I think, who was it? Agur, I think? When we were talking our way out of the lizard area. They said a lie.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah. So, it's possible that he might be lying and just the pain isn't compared to what he's already feeling.
Yeah, can I just use my mason tools and scratch in on the left side of the wall, don't dead, and then on the right side, open inside.
Might be a bit noisy.
Yeah, you can do that. It does definitely catch the attention of this guy. Please help me.
Look, we don't have a good track record with helping people, so...
What do you want?
I don't want anything. If I could help you and be safe, I'd do it. But something tells me that you're chained up between these two suns, perpetually shriveling up into what appears to be black breadcrumbs for some reason.
He kind of just, too weak to stand, he kind of just crumples back down, and his head rests back down.
Ask him why is he here? Like who put him there?
All right, bacon guy. My friend wants to know why you're here.
My friend thinks you're cute, so like.
No, my friend thinks you're hot.
He probably is. He says the Medusa has chained me up and tortured me.
Okay, that definitely gels.
I peek around. Do I still see the bird?
It's still kind of hovering in the same room with this guy.
I point at the bird. Do you know what that is?
I do not.
Yeah, we'll see. That little bird has been like trying to kill us this entire time, and now it wants us to touch you. So
I will promise you anything. Just get me out of here.
yeah. I mean, I'm all for leaving. You guys want to try anything with this guy?
All I can try will use magic, and I don't want to do that near the kids now.
Yeah, I don't have any desire to step in that room, and B, anything I can do from outside the room probably wouldn't do anything. Or blow everything up, one of the two.
One of the two. Did anything change when I split that sand in two piles?
No.
Do.
No, never mind. Sorry.
So in the one room we've got some kind of black hole. In the other room we've got stars burning a guy. So what's further down the hall?
Alright, I will move you to a new page and get more room here. That's not what I wanted. Okay, so up here is suns. We got down here is gonna be. We'll say like the entrance is there, and here's the rift. But there is another entrance here. Which leads to a different room. Also, I believe there's something in this hallway. So we're gonna call this hallway number 1. Got room 2, room 3, hallway 4, and hallway 5. So inside, the first thing you notice in this hallway is going to be this hallway is some kind of theater. The southern wall is kind of a blue horizon, and beneath it, all along the southern hall, is a complex arrangement of mechanical puppets.
On the wall?
Yes, on the south wall here. And as soon as you enter, gears start whirring and shuddering, and these two-dimensional characters hop up on the wall and start acting out some kind of story.
I tell everybody that I'm gonna be watching that in the meantime.
Really? My instinct was to turn around and walk the other way.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna watch that shit.
What if it's a story like a child's story, like a fable or something?
Has anything been nice in here?
And don't say Spot.
The Invisible Kid, the ghost.
Okay, yes, that's one.
And the crazy lady at the beginning of the maze, like she hasn't tried to kill us yet.
That's a pretty low bar.
And
it's a pretty good
Cronia.
bar.
And Cronia. And her picture sister. I don't remember her name.
So what I'm getting here is people you can talk to.
More or less, yeah. Except I remember
Okay.
which.
But I'm just okay, maybe not to talk to with the ghost boy in there as well. But people, things that have been nice to us have been people. These are not people.
Well, as you're kind of half watching Bagor, you notice tiny little people getting on boats and sailing on an ocean. But they're coming from both sides, and these boats collide, and like tiny little arrows fly in between the ships. And you get the sense that this is some kind of story of a war set on a large ocean.
That sounds about right.
Just keep an eye out for me, and I'm just gonna keep watching it. I'll tell you if there's anything interesting there.
Really don't think that's a good idea.
At the risk of bringing misfortune, what's the worst that can happen? I get hypnotized by that. I mean,
Yeah, pretty much.
There have been things that hypnotize us here.
I mean, you saw what happened when Ovek was bitten by that mutt thing.
But he didn't die. I mean, that's the worst.
Speaking of which, Spot is probably hungry and just kind of looking for opportunities to nip
Eat
at
Ovik.
Ovek. Has some trouble. It's going for now his unarmored hand.
Oh, right. The peacock block.
Yes.
Do I have any more of the blood?
He was carrying
The blood
that, and
bags?
it has
Yeah.
since disappeared.
Okay.
Shocking.
Mm-hmm. That's a good question. Have I tried feeding Spot other food?
I believe you've tried with some like dried rations, and he didn't really respond to it.
Right. Well, he can go hungry for a bit. I'm sure we'll find something for him.
I'm not suggesting this in character or out of character, but I wonder what would happen if he tried to bite those frozen people.
Hmm.
I mean, that's
They would
up to
stay
Spot.
frozen.
Huh?
Okay, so is room 3 the one with the suns, or the one, the room up here?
The room 3 is something new. The Suns is back in the hallway you came from over here.
Okay. I go look in room 3.
This room. Ooh.
Oh boy.
There is a piece of some kind of fabric or leather. About the size of a peach, so like kind of smaller than your hand, that is pierced and hung on gold wires which hang from the ceiling. And this thing is about eye level in the middle of the room.
What is with this place and the things that look like chains and hanging things?
Someone has a kink.
About this time, Bagor, the story changes. The war ends, and a new story begins. This is the story of how a large Leviathan beast is cruelly ruling some kind of race. This race isn't like necessarily humans. They've got little weird features like different ears. Some of them have tails. And you feel a strange presence come out in this play. Can you make a wisdom saving throw with advantage?
Coming up.
You feel just like a pressure to fear this great beast, which is being a bad ruler to all these people, but you suppress it and just continue enjoying the show.
I'm gonna cover the kid's eyes just in case something gory is about to happen.
Meanwhile, what else would you guys like to look into?
I guess I'll peek into room 2 down here.
Around the central kind of 20-foot radius of the center of the room, the floor tiles kind of are three-dimensional. They erupt out of the ground and fold in on each other in kind of a frozen wave of chaos.
It's still properly in 3 dimensions, right? Not unknowable dimensions.
As far as you can tell, yeah.
Okay. In that case, I'm just going to assume more weird time freezing stuff and back out.
Probably smart.
Are you still kind of just like casually standing around this number 3 room, Dornov?
Yeah, I guess.
You hear a familiar voice call out to you.
Okay.
It says, Dornov, I've missed you so much. And you recognize the voice of your mother.
Huh. Well, that's odd. My mother's been dead for forever.
You also hear, is that Dornov? Is Dornov, are you there? You hear your father as well.
Ah, damn, he's actually still alive.
Is he the only one that hears that?
Yes.
I don't follow it, but I'll say hello.
Dornov, it's you. How are you?
You sound like my dad. Who are you?
It's me. It's your father. He says his own name, which, whatever that may be. Last I knew, you were in a city going on something. Are you okay?
Well, trapped in this awful maze, but got some good people in here. You know, we're working things out, trying to get out of here.
So you're alive then?
If I'm not, death isn't as bad as I thought.
I'm so glad that you're okay. Can you come home to us?
Working on it. Haven't found the way out yet.
Stay safe.
Is this coming out of room 3?
Yes. It doesn't appear to have a source.
And you said what was hanging from chains?
It's like a small piece of some kind of leather or fabric.
Just one such thing?
Yes. You see... No, I guess it doesn't really have images.
Oh, I'll stay safe. I'm still looking for adamantium or adamantite ore for you. So if I ever get back, I'll be sure to give you what I got.
Well, your safety is more important than that. You know that.
Do I still hear the voice of my supposed mother?
Um,
Or did it like change voices to my dad?
she's still there. And she says, Dornov, I hope you're well, and I'm sorry I had to leave so soon. But we'll see each other again someday. Hopefully long from now.
Did my mom and my dad talk to each other?
No.
So it was like I heard my mother's voice, I said something, and then my dad heard me.
Yes. I guess they can both hear you, but not necessarily each other.
Hey, Ovek,
Yeah?
you hear this? Sounds like my parents.
What?
Yeah, come over here.
What language were they speaking?
I assume your native language would be Dwarvish, so yeah.
Yeah, they're
guess
speaking
I walk up.
Dwarvish.
Alright. I walk up to the room. I try to listen. Do I hear anything?
You do. You also hear your parents.
I hear Mama,
Yes. You know, Ovek, sweetie,
Mama and Poppy.
we're so glad you're okay.
What?
That's pretty weird, right?
How are you here? Wait, can he hear my parents talking?
No, he cannot.
Well, I would have asked, "Do you hear my dad?" And what would you have said to
I
that?
would have said no. Yeah.
Would you just said no, or would you say that you heard your parents?
I would have said, did you hear my mama?
No, I heard my mom and my dad.
Huh.
Wait,
I
are you
don't
saying
wanna
you hear
go
your
into
mother?
this room. Can we slowly back away, please?
Yeah.
I mean, it hasn't tried to get me to come into the room, so I'm not sure it's dangerous. I'm not going to go in, but
I'm sure that's implied by our parents' voices. I want nothing to do with that room.
now I ask my dad, did he hear Ovek talking?
Who?
So he didn't hear anyone talking to me just now.
No.
Okay.
Are you with others then?
Yeah.
Just make sure you keep them safe and they keep you safe.
Oh, I'm trying. Got grabbed by this giant stone hand. Apparently I passed out, but they got me out, so.
Stone! What was it made of?
It's made of stone.
Interesting. You'll have to tell me more about it.
Yeah, I will whenever I get out. Anyway, gotta go. Bye. See ya.
Bye.
So I just rejoined the group, and I'm like, that was fucking weird.
Yes. In the meantime, I think it's been about 10 minutes in game, with the play moving on and a couple conversations, do another encounter check. This one might actually be what I'm... Yes! Coming in, we'll say from the way you came, saunters up Mr. Torgos Zuth, the Moon Man. And his
Yes.
traveling beastie.
Is that who we were looking for?
It was.
Oh my god. Holy shit. That's amazing. This is my first time seeing him, right?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask the same thing.
Those of you that are closest to him, you feel when his gaze passes over you, your feet become rooted in the ground and you're not able to move them.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I remember that.
But his gaze falls off of you as it moves on to the two small figures with you, and they light up. Their face, the light reflecting off of their faces, appears to be even brighter. And they run to him, and he bends down and gives them a good firm hug.
I'm just gonna step aside out of the way.
Yeah.
So can I move right now?
Yes, as long as he's not looking directly at you.
Can I just walk up to the three of them and also start hugging?
As you get close, he does look directly at you.
Can I talk?
Yes, you may.
I just wanted to get in on all this family fun. I'm so glad you got your kids back. Can I give you a hug?
Who are you?
Dornoff.
We know his name, right? He told us when he told us to get his kids.
Yes, you should know his name. He should know a couple of your names, but I don't believe Dornov was with you, so.
Yeah, no,
With
he
this
wasn't
group.
there. I just wanted to know the name of him.
Yes, he's Torgos Zeus. I can type it again.
Thank you.
He has with him the little animated hand guy, and a massive, rippling, muscly dog rodent thing.
Sweet pet, dude.
Like Spot on steroids?
You have returned my sons to me.
Wait, sons?
Hi, Torgas.
I thought it was a boy and a girl.
No,
Yep,
they're
dude,
two boys.
Twin sons.
Wait a fucking second.
I'm pretty sure they've both been described as voice this entire time.
Yeah.
You might be
No,
confused
I
because
was-
when I was using tokens, like I had a girl token on there.
Well, I get that I was wrong. I'm just really concerned about the fact that they were just described as his two sons, and there's a room with two sons and a guy chained between them.
Jesus Christ. I don't think it's that.
Uh,
we
Judging-
randomly encountered them in this place. What is he doing just walking around anyway? What is he looking for his sons walking around?
Yes, I do
Okay.
patrol this area and enforce the will of the Medusa, but I also venture out into the other parts of the maze and look for my sons. But I don't need to do that anymore. I owe you guys a great debt, but you also owe me a great debt for not telling my mistress what has become of her son.
That's like saying that you owe me a great debt because I didn't kill you.
Well, technically, that is. Well, remember I told you that we maybe killed the son of the Medusa?
Wait,
he
we
saw us
did?
do it.
We
And-
didn't.
You didn't.
They did.
Oh,
Yeah, we did at the beginning.
Can I
he
turn
kind
I'm
of
pretty sure it was the
saw
first
us-
combat. of the maze.
Yeah.
So,
To be fair, it was all Leaf's fault. So he kind of saw us and said he had to tell the Medusa. We asked not to, and one thing led to another. And hi, Thorgus, you're your child. Please don't tell the Medusa.
Well, I was dumb.
It was Leaf's fault. Of course, it was dumb.
Well, I thank you for what you've done. But for all of our sakes, we probably should not meet again.
By the way, your kids have weapons each, so I will be careful with them.
We gave them a couple knives in case we ran into trouble and got separated again somehow.
As long as they're safe, I don't care.
So yeah, I mean, we'll get out of here. Just point us to the way out of this place. And...
Oh yeah, do you know how to get out of this maze? The whole maze, I mean, not the inner maze in the maze. The meta maze.
Well, the two main exits are a painting somewhere in Crony's halls, as well as a staircase that's close to Cronia herself.
Oh shit!
Wait, Cronia?
I think we saw that staircase at one point. I'm not sure.
Somewhere within her halls.
So
It is how the Bondi Reparate enter and exit the maze.
So you mean to tell me that the exits are not by the Medusa, but by Cronia, who we've gone past 1,000 times?
We have definitely passed that place a lot.
There may
Wait,
well
is
be
she-
other exits, but those are the
That's one
two
that you
most
know?
commonly used.
And they're both next to Cronia?
Somewhere within her halls, yes.
Wait, her halls or her domain?
They're the same.
So in the gallery, is that her domain?
No.
The painting
You-
was
you
probably
mean
when we
the-
entered.
So it's like the actual room that she's staying in?
Just the section of the maze that you entered into and that she is in is just called Cronia's Halls.
Okay.
So can you magic us back there, or
I do not have that power.
Could you maybe give us some kind of official documents that will let us, exit in case we come across someone that tries to stop us?
I think I've done enough for you by not betraying, or by almost betraying my mistress. If she asked me directly now if I know what happened to her son, I will not tell her your names.
That's how much your sons are worth to you?
yeah, I understand what you're saying, guy. Let me explain what your sons were going through when we rescued them. This invisible guy was freaking. What was he doing? I can't remember.
He was trying to clone them, something, or get their powers somehow.
Some sort of experiments.
He was doing experiments with them, torturing them for all I know.
I mean, like, you could ask them.
That's probably not the best idea.
Oh, remember they were in a room with an explosive door?
Oh,
To be
I
fair,
don't-
the explosion was on the outside.
Yeah, true.
They kind of just hug him tighter.
Okay.
And he still firmly just says that our deal has been completed.
This is just nodding his head.
All right. Okay. Can you at least give us directions to Chroma's domain? Is that too much to ask? Oh, powerful one. You know, for the people that literally saved your sons.
If you follow the wall on your right, you will eventually get there.
So like this way, the way we
But-
came.
No, don't accept that. That's how you get out of any maze.
It is the fastest way.
Okay. Okay, fine. Is Chroma guarding the exit, or is it just happens to be in her domain?
I don't think she defends it, but it's
Okay.
nearby her somewhere.
To be fair, we never asked her like about those two specific ways out.
Did we never ask her how to get out of here? Did we never ask her that question?
Yeah, no, but like in general, we didn't ask specifically about the two options he gave us.
Yeah, but you would think that she, would answer that if we asked her the general question, how do we get out of the maze?
She doesn't have the best understanding of the area, considering she doesn't
Right.
know all.
Yeah, she has a
Yeah,
lead.
that's true.
Okay. Okay. I guess the only other thing to ask is there anything to look out for on the way back to Chroma's domain from the directions that you gave us?
The door within the room with the black swirling void is trapped.
No.
No. What is that black swirling void?
Fucking death.
Yeah, but
A
what kind of
tear in reality.
Speaking of which, your kids, one of them touched something and kind of destroyed the world around it. Don't do magic around them for a while, maybe.
This effect will wear off.
Yeah, no, I mean, yes, but maybe don't do magic right now.
In case you are aware of the effect, I believe you brushed up against the Tesseract a few rooms. That general direction pointing.
Yes. Well, that is acceptable.
Oh, wow. As long as it's acceptable.
I'm just gonna stand my old guy hand and extend it at him like for a handshake. See what he does.
Goodbye.
Damn.
Goodbye.
Okay, bye, I guess.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And he takes his children, one in each hand, and leaves, followed by his two little defending friendos.
And I sit down.
He's kind of an asshole, wasn't he? So what's this about? You killed Medusa's kid?
The rogue decided he
Yeah.
wanted to stab something.
So he just stabbed some guy?
I mean,
It was more like a gigantic worm.
other than that, yeah.
Ay, ay, ay.
To be fair, you've seen how I behave. Leaf was like 75% of my impulse control because he will do it before I did.
I'm not sure that counts as impulse control.
Damn.
I remember we were in a room with one of Cronia's sisters, and she said, people cannot be violent in front of me, and his first instinct was to try and stab me. So
How'd that work?
Well,
Not
I
very
mean,
well,
he
as it turns out.
couldn't. He couldn't, like, he wasn't able to pull up his dagger, but he did try.
Okay. So, are you going back the way you came?
I'm interested. Did doorknob tell us what was going on in room 3?
I mean,
yeah.
For doorknob and yeah, okay, never mind.
I want to peek in that room. I'm curious to see if it's gonna be like animal sounds or my actual parents.
Would you recognize your actual birth parents?
I have
Voice?
no idea. So,
Yeah, you kind of just stand in the entrance, and after 10 seconds of silence, you're kind of just about ready to go when you hear somebody asking, hello?
hello? Who are you?
Who's there?
My name's Bagur. I was
Who the
raised.
fuck you are?
I was raised by wolves.
Jesus.
Hello.
I'm sorry, that must have been terrible.
Well, after the fleas leave, it was actually kind of fun.
Well, that's no life for a boy.
Okay.
Anyway,
it's not big, though.
I actually have to go. My friends are waiting for me. Nice talking to you. Bye.
Goodbye.
I woke up to the rest like I have no idea who was that.
Meanwhile, you take another peek at the animated mechanical puppet theater, and you notice this act of the play is all of the oppressed people that the Leviathan is ruling are begging for help. They're begging to the gods, they're begging to anybody that will listen.
And because I never really paid attention to painting, do I hear begging, or is it just acting out begging?
It's just them like holding their little metal hands together and like looking to the sky. All you can really hear is kind of just the whirring of gears and metal clashing against metal. But those of you taking a peek at this, make a wisdom saving throw with advantage.
I was not.
I was just
On it.
I wasn't looking. I was hearing.
Yeah, I'm still sitting up against the wall, like next to the door over here, kind of leaning back.
Bagor, you just kind of feel an anger. Like, why is nobody helping these people? And you find yourself like putting your hand on your weapon, but you kind of just suppress it and say, it's just a play.
Ovak, help. I'm having a touch issue. I want to touch the play.
No touch.
Right, I guess
Kinda
that means it's time to move on then.
Can I throw fire at it? Like at that little monster
No.
over there?
No.
If you
No
want to,
touching
you
is
can.
move.
But the little guys need help, Ovak.
No
Bagor,
touching includes
stop.
no throwing anything at it.
Okay, fine.
It's time to leave.
Did we ever check what was up here in this hall?
Nope.
Do we want to? Anybody?
I want to get out of here.
Okay.
I'm eager to find out what's preventing us from leaving there.
Yeah, and when we can't leave because he wouldn't give us the proper passports or visas or whatever, we'll fucking kill him and kill the Medusa.
Or
I
we
don't
could
think
just
that will be
walk
easy.
away.
So we've been in this maze all of this time looking for the kids. What's the plan then? Where do we go now?
Like all the time, you mean like
We fucking leave.
Yeah,
We
let's
leave.
go to
this
Cronia.
place.
Through where? Where
As
do we
he
go
told
first?
us.
my
We go back
guess.
to Chroma's area and then try to find the stairwell that leads out.
My guess, and this is only a guess, is that on my map at least, there's a room called Brick Spiral Tunnel that, if I remember right, where it went downwards, or maybe the black line's kind of next to it. That might not be a bad place to start.
That sounds good.
Where is that? Below Cronia? Where?
On my map, it's kind of a few blocks to the right of the pedestal.
Okay.
Yeah, I seem to remember either that room or the black lines room leading downwards. Though I don't recall the exact details.
Alright, so you slowly walk while discussing past the table with 2 piles of sand on it.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
You head into the room with other stuff.
How much do you want to bet that some other adventure is going to come out there and wonder, hey, I wonder what happens if you put all the sand in one pile?
You pass.
Look, there was a room number 2, and there was 2 suns in a different room. I thought the strangely magical sand would have done something.
You pass the column of.
Maybe it was like those old RPGs. You hear
Petrified
something shift in another room.
Or it's like Mist, where it doesn't even tell you that much.
Oh, even worse.
You pass the glass desert and proceed into the room with the people frozen in time. Continuing back into the room with next door is the sandy thingamabob that ruined or made your hand all old. And then that has a door in it which leads to the Tesseract black void wobbling thingy. You guys have passed it once before, so you know it's fascinating enough to make you try and reach out and touch it. So you avoid looking at it as you walk around the edge of the room and get to the door which you originally came into from Crony's room.
I guess we kind of have 3 options where we want to go, how we want to get there. Either go to the south to like the runic circle room, then go left a few rooms, or we can go into Cronia's Hall and then exit a few rooms further down and have to go left a little less, or go into Cronia's room and then to the next door over and then go right a few rooms. You want me to put an image of the relevant area on the maps into Discord?
Sure.
I mean, it probably doesn't matter too much which way we go. I just wanted to let people know.
Alright. So the door to Crony's room is closed, but everything else would be an archway that you can see through, so you can kind of see south into the hallway that connects to a couple different rooms. One of them being where you kind of the hallway where you encountered the endless paper dealio.
We kind of left that to pan out by itself, right?
It burned
Yes.
out.
At some point, we're gonna have to deal with a wall of paper that maybe we
No.
caused.
There was also a fire there, remember? I think it all burned out in.
We're probably not the favorites from Smokey the Bear.
I think the fire was there before the paper.
I honestly don't remember.
Actually, for
So,
some,
okay, the bear, another one of the animals that raised you.
quick, write it in your backstory.
I call myself Smokey the Bear before I turn into a bear. That's my spell for animal shape.
Yes.
Hmm.
So yeah, you've got a couple of different directions you can head, but they all end in the same direction. You just gotta pick which way you're going. The longer you stay in the Tesseracty room, the more you want to open your eyes and reach out and touch it. So, best to move on.
Let's go to Cronia. She's nearby, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
let's
is
just stop at Cronia's.
one door to the left.
So yeah, there's a closed door that you came into to get to Cronia. And who's opening it up?
I'm gonna open it.
Alright, make a dexterity save because it was trapped.
Amazing.
Don't
What?
you remember? Wait, is this the one that you said was trapped?
I have no idea. Dex?
Oh,
Yes.
Here we go.
hey, 16.
Is 16 enough?
You jump out of the way. The spikes kind of fall from above. You still get a scrape on your arm, but it's not something that's gonna him.
Now I remember this one. Yep, I remember the spikes.
So you take
Yep.
5 damage.
Okay, so 5.
I actually didn't remember anything about his trap there.
But now the door is open.
Yo, Cronia, you should check your door. It's kind of angry.
Why, hello there again. I see you less some companions.
Yeah, we found the dad for the kids.
Well, that is quite the happy ending.
Are you okay, Cronia?
You kind of interrupted her just playing on some gold pipes. Just like a little fluty kind of thing. Pan flute kind of deal. Alright, my birdie is crawling all over me, so I'm gonna put him to bed. We can take a 5-minute break.
Okay.
Got it.
Alright, I'm back. Is everyone here?
Um,
Yes, Cronia sets down her golden pipes and asks you what you will be doing now that your task is completed.
well,
We were
we
told that there was a spiral staircase in your domain. Have you seen one? It's a spiral staircase, right? I'm getting that right?
I don't think anybody told you that.
It's a staircase then.
Well, there is a staircase nearby that the Bandai Reparate use to come to
Yeah?
and from the maze.
Oh my god. Uh-huh. Do you know where the staircase is?
I see them pretty often in the area. Let me scroll through a bunch of pages here, get closer to where you guys are at. It's gonna take a while.
I think this is GM delay, not character delay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she points towards one of the southern doors and she says, I see them move along most often through that door. I don't explore much outside of this room, but if you start there, you'll have the best luck. Does that mean you're not looking to find me imperishable cloth then?
We've been trying.
Well,
If we find it on our way, we'll definitely circle back and bring it to you.
well, I've lived for thousands of years without it. I can live for thousands more.
Mm-hmm. Also, have I introduced you to Spot?
Spot was with you the last time
Yeah.
you visited her. She says, well, that's quite an ugly beast, isn't it? Not like mine.
Oh god, it bit Cronia, the one with her.
Yeah. I'm still amazed that your one doesn't seem to be affected by your magic, Kronia.
I think it is. It just doesn't age.
It just lives for like millions of years.
It might be my blood that helps it, perhaps. Okay, Cronia. Boom. Let me check my map again.
So,
So she waves towards the central door. And that's where she has seen them walk by the most, I suppose.
does that agree with what you suspect the staircase is, Athos?
It's probably the closest. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's
I say
about
thank
the middle,
you.
leading that way.
Yeah. I say thank you to Kronia. And I say we should head out, gang.
I hope you find what you're looking for.
We hope so too.
So this door leads to the White Sea, Black Sun mosaic on the north wall. And it's a hallway that leads into. Let me see if I have this mapped out on a nearby page. It's gonna be. Yeah, this might be close. Is it this one? No.
I thought it was the darkness room with the.
Yeah, so this leads directly into. It's not necessarily a doorway, but it's kind of a wide. No, this definitely did not draw much here. But yeah, so the mosaic is up along this north wall, and there's kind of just a wide hallway, and this whole big room is darkness. Oh yeah, that's right. So you guys kind of followed this wall, and that's why I didn't draw the walls out. You kind of just followed along the wall.
Yeah, that's right. And I think also we saw it was Cronius, so we turned back and then followed
Yes.
down there or something like that.
But I might have made. Let me see. Might have made a mistake, but I don't know how I would have. I have to read this room again. You can kind of just barely see stuff scattered along everywhere around the room. But just like the black coating, which has covered everything here, just absorbs more light, so you can only see like 10 or 15 feet away. But this room is not that big that I should have made you go through this much trouble getting in here, so I'll just give you the general layout. So, this over here leads to the right, is going to lead to the hanging body. I believe you guys met him.
Yep.
South door, I don't think you ran into. But there actually should also be another door over here, which I don't know why I didn't get to that before. So I don't think you went to the south door, but there's a door to the south. The room on the left here is the pedestal, which you know of, and there's also this room up here. So which of doorways do you want to explore first?
I think we already went this way last time we passed here. What's down here?
Down there appears to be a middle-aged, dark-skinned woman wearing a skirt of peacock feathers and a necklace of bones carved from a larger bone. She's playing on some finger drums at an astonishingly high speed and not really paying attention to you.
I'm gonna step back. I'm not gonna interact with anyone until everybody sees her.
And if you were to peek into this top left doorway, it leads to two places. That can't be right. There's a hallway continuing onwards, but there's also a staircase here. And descending down the staircase are a group of people wearing these are like young boys, probably like 12 to 18, wearing the masks with just like vaguely ugly women. And they are descending the staircase. Those of you that have been in the maze a while, Ovek and Dornov would know these are the Bondi Reparate. Oh, excuse me. So these are definitely spiral staircases, and they go down.
Should we follow them to see if we find a way out with them?
Works for me.
I mean, like, we're not the stealthiest group.
I mean, I'll try to stealth, but yeah, as a group, we're not.
Oh, I can fix that. Wait. Tell me prepared it. Yep, I got Pass Without Trace. I'm gonna cast it. Do we want to stealth?
Can you cast spells at this point?
Yeah, the issue was
I
with the
thought the
kid.
reality is still broken. Oh, while the kids was around us? Okay.
Yeah, I only got disadvantage on sleight of hand.
Okay, so you're casting Pass Without Trace?
Yep.
Alright, so the shadows embrace you even more in the darkened room as you leave it to descend the staircase. The staircase is not lit, and it feels like you are descending for a long time. Maybe 5 or 10 minutes after you've started, you kind of just feel disorientated a little bit, and suddenly, without questioning it, kind of as if you're in a dream, you find yourself walking upwards the staircase, and you think, well, this is just fine, this is how it's supposed to be. So you continue climbing up the staircase for another 5 or 10 minutes, and you eventually find yourself above ground.
Above ground?
You see the sky above you.
We escaped?
It is nighttime.
Oh.
You see familiar stars in the sky.
Do I know where we are?
All around you is ocean.
Are we out?
Fuck.
Did we make it out?
You're on a large island about the size of Manhattan. You're on kind of a hill near the top of it.
Uh-huh.
And you can see ocean as far as the eye can see in all directions. But the stars and the moon look familiar.
Please tell me there's vegetation on this island.
There is. You can see like a small city and a trail leading to that city down the hill.
Is there a port?
It's kind of hard to tell from up here.
Okay. I've traveled around a lot, for my job as a mailman. Do I know this location?
No, but you can make a check. Gonna be
It could be.
a survival check or
Sure.
a history check.
Sure.
At the same time, I want to try to
Yeah.
track the people we saw going down the stairs before us.
You see a few torches heading away from you, like a mile ahead, going towards the small city.
Only 7.
You've got no idea where you're at.
Okay. We made it out though. What time of year is it outside? That's something that I should be able to tell by the stars, right?
Sure. It has probably been close to a month since Bagor's adventuring party left, and like 2 months since your adventuring party left. So it's probably like fall.
Okay.
It's been a month?
It's been
Well-
like two or 3 weeks out here.
Oh my god.
Well, if we weren't sure that time was being weird in there before, which we're definitely sure now. Unless, of course, this whole thing is an illusion.
Okay. Whew. I think the first thing we should do is get to that city and see if we can get a ship out of here. Well, I guess actually first is find out where here is, then get a ship out of here.
How about first question? Is Spot with us?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, with us, right?
Yes,
Nice.
and he is starving.
Okay.
He nips at you again, Ovek, but
Uh-huh.
you're able to pull your unarmored hand out of the way fast enough.
Okay. I told Spot that it's okay, but we'll find some food in a bit.
So we just brought some kind of evil demon dog into the real world.
He's not evil. You can't say that.
Arguably.
Like,
What about him's evil?
I don't know, the fact that he mind controlled you.
Oh, he doesn't.
Which is exactly what someone who is mind controlled would say.
I'm now kind of wishing I had some art skills so I could draw him, and then see if he would thought the drawing looked nice. I don't, so I can't do that.
You guys descend the hill, following the
Yes.
path. There are. It's not difficult to do. and you eventually find yourself on the outskirts of a small city, probably like population size wise around 1,000 people.
Okay. By the way, in the city, is it a port city? Because it's on an island.
You do notice some kind of small harbor, but you don't see like large ships.
Okay.
That's either really good or really bad.
So I think the obvious course is to find an inn, right? That's the best place to gather information and beer.
It's not a bad idea.
Maybe if we have enough money, we can buy something like maybe a little bit more food just in case.
In the town, can I find a butcher?
Well, as you walk through the night streets,
Uh-huh.
there are robed individuals with the plain women masks, kind of just like meeting your gaze for a second and then like turning away and looking down and avoiding it.
Uh-oh.
But otherwise than those people, the streets are empty and a lot of the buildings around are closed.
How late is it?
It's, we'll say, like 2 in the well. Yeah, it's like 3 in the morning.
Okay, it's really late. Okay.
It's reasonable for things to be closed.
Yeah.
But you head towards what you assume is kind of the center of the city. There's a little bit more open here, and there's more paths leading from this center point.
Where?
You do see, I will say, one of the larger buildings that has its lights on. Looks to be some kind of inn or stopping point for people.
Alright. I say we should go there.
Inside there is one person with the same robes and mask who sees you enter and watches as you approach him.
I say hello.
He kind of just nods his head.
Do you have rooms open for the night? You wouldn't believe the ordeal we just went through.
I will serve if I can. And he gestures to the opposite side of the room, which has some doors open.
Okay. I guess I'll go where he gestured.
There are, we'll say, 4 dark rooms with their doors open. You look in and they have simple but definitely serviceable beds, a small nightstand with a drawer, and a chair.
Did that person follow us in?
He did not.
I guess I'll walk back out and say how much for the rooms.
I cannot repay you for staying here.
What?
Excuse me?
It is my honor.
Why?
He kind of just shakes his head in disbelief and says, "Great one, you are beyond my comprehension."
That's an alert.
I walk out as well and say, so how much is it for the rooms to Bagor?
Apparently it's free.
It's kind of
Free?
weird.
I can't be free. Hey, how much for the rooms, man?
I live only to serve.
If I hear them
Told
over
you,
saying
weird.
that, as I overhear them talking about it, and like, kind of duck behind the door for a second to the side and kind of get out my magic dagger and poke myself with it.
Wait, what's your magic dagger do?
It's a +1.
Oh,
It's painful. It bleeds.
And I don't magically snap out of an illusion or something. Okay.
No.
Didn't think
Ha-
so, but it was worth testing.
How much would a room usually cost in D&D?
A good room with food would probably be like a gold a night, maybe.
I take out a gold piece and I hold it out to the guy and say, here, please,
I'm not worthy.
take it. 'Cause, I mean, we're
who do you usually serve?
The great ones who bless us with their presence, or merchants from other lands.
and what defines a great one? How do you know who they are?
Those who have been to the maze, from the maze, have a look in their eyes which it is beyond me.
She means we look like crazy people.
Do we? Is there a mirror? Is there a
Yeah,
mirror?
Ovek, come here. Let me look in your eyes.
Okay.
Do I see anything in Ovek's eyes?
I mean, he's got the wild, unkempt beard, but that's not necessarily outside of the sphere for dwarves. But I mean, he looks
Does
a
the
little
dwarf
ragged.
still have that weird black fucking eye?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, that's probably what gave us away.
Weird eye and an old hand.
I say, look, we were in there forever. It was all we could do to get out, but I'm not about to keep you from eating. Please, take the gold piece.
Please, I'm a slave. I'm beneath your notice. I need nothing from you.
Well, I'm noticing you right now, and I just
Okay.
put the coin on the table.
Can we also get some food?
I live to serve. And he turns and goes out a door.
Did he pick up the gold piece, or is it still on the table?
It's still on the counter.
Well, it's going to stay there, because I'm not touching it. So he's left? Is it just us now?
Yes.
Okay, so he's absolutely gonna murder us.
Even then, a bed sounds really tempting right now.
Yeah.
We definitely need a watch.
Do I know how much Spot eats to be satisfied?
He doesn't take a lot of blood when he nips somebody. And he does
Okay.
that a couple times a day.
I got I guess one of my empty wine bottles, and then I prick myself with like a dagger.
You have his full attention.
Yep, and I drain it a bit into the wine glass. Oh, sorry, wine bottle.
He is confused, but he's still watching.
Yeah. So I do like enough that I would think that would last until like morning, and then I pass him the bottle.
He kind of goes a little wild with it. But so you kind of just hear him in the corner, like gurring and wrestling with this bottle. A couple minutes later, a man comes back with a tray with most of a chicken on it. It's been cooked. There's also just a couple fresh vegetables laying with it that have been roasted a bit. Some carrots and some tomatoes. And he sets it on the table.
I dig in.
Does the guy like describe the guy to me?
He appears to be maybe like he's got the build of maybe like a 20-year-old man with long flowing robes that obscure most of his like skin, like his sleeves pretty much cover up his hands, and the hood is up, so all you can really see on his face is the mask of a pudgy woman.
Oh, this just reeks. So tell me, what makes the great ones so special?
Those that inhabit our heaven are worth worshipping.
So the maze is your heaven?
It is a blessing to be tasked with maintaining it.
Man, if my character knew about cults, he'd be freaking out so much right now.
Yeah. So tell me, how do people get to this heaven of yours?
It is not my place to know.
Whose place is it?
That is of the great ones.
So, us.
And you're telling me you exist only to do what we say?
I am from nowhere, and I return to nowhere.
Anybody else getting weird vibes from here?
Son, take off your mask.
This is my face.
No, it's not.
Hmm.
He ends up kind of just sitting down and meditating.
I'll shrug and start eating some.
I want to hand some of the food to him and say, "Here."
Oh my god. Is it good?
It's a little underspiced, but it's probably the best thing you've eaten in a long time. So
Key point: it's not dried rations.
yes.
Key point: man in robe with mask who addresses us as the Great Ones brought us the food.
Nah, I've
Yeah,
got poison
and it's pretty
resistance.
good. Yeah,
Will-
I have poison resistance too. You have poison resistance.
I'm not worried about poison resistance. I'm worried about getting clubbed over the head.
That's what traps are for, and setting a watch.
Will he eat the food?
Oh my god. Of course he won't.
He says, "Please, that has been prepared with our best. I am not worthy."
I understand. However, as one of the Great Ones, I will not eat the food unless I know that you too have been fed. Are you saying that you are going to starve me?
Oh, great one, you are beyond my comprehension.
Does he eat the food?
He takes, he pulls a very, very small piece off of it and reluctantly puts it in his mouth.
Does the mask move? Like, is that actually his face?
He slides it in underneath the mask.
Of course.
You see, his chin come out from under the mask so he can get it into his mouth.
Are you done tormenting that kid? I say as I eat the food.
Bagur, something ain't right here.
We've already established that much.
When has anything gone right for us in these last, month or so?
True, that's fair, actually.
After a couple minutes after you guys
eat
are
the food.
eating, he also pours up some drinks.
Perfect.
I say the exact same thing and hand him some of the wine.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Don't waste good wine. Is it good wine?
This is. Let me find it. It's a rum.
Ooh.
Will he take a drink of the rum so that I won't dehydrate?
From the same cask that he poured your drink, he gets a small shot glass and drinks a bit himself.
He gets shut
All right.
down.
All right. I eat and I drink and I say, "Thank you." What should I call you?
I have no name. My name is my shame.
Can I give you a name?
That wasn't the question.
I'm not worthy.
All right. I'm gonna call you Bob.
Classic dwarven name.
Oh, you're right.
Griva.
Yep.
He kind of just shrugs and says, "Who can judge the gods?"
So tell me, what is your name?
My name is Shame.
Change my name.
All right, whatever.
Alright, well, the meal is adequate enough, but considering what you've been through, it is definitely welcome. And you've got a couple rooms you can turn to. The doors all have locks on them. You can lock them from the inside.
Which way do they open?
Inwards.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna push my bed up against the door in my room.
But then where will you sleep?
On the bed that's holding the door in place.
Doesn't seem efficient.
Seems safe.
I will just turn in. I assume my spot comes into my room.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Do any of the rooms have windows?
No.
Okay, that's one less thing to have to secure. So in my room, I'm going to set up first a tripwire across the door. Then I'm going to rig something up so that if the door is opened, from the ceiling will swing down the hypnodisc we picked up at some point.
Oh, okay.
That ends up kind of at that guy's eye level.
Yeah, sure. Just for funsies, why don't you make a check for that?
Alright, and I do have a trap setting kit in case that ends up mattering. What do you want me to roll?
Either probably going to be like an intelligence check, but you can add your proficiency for your kit.
Alright, so just roll in. Oh, proficiency won't matter.
All
Proficiency
right.
is +3, but 7 is not much better than 4.
You do kind of get it hanging from the ceiling about eye level, but then you can't. You kind of get frustrated getting a mechanism to make it pop out. But you can kind of just leave it there in its spot, and if somebody comes in, they'll see it anyway. As long as you remember not to look at it when you get up.
Yeah, there's that.
I can't wait for you to trip on your trap.
Oh, I'm half expecting that.
We're gonna have a long rest, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna try to recover my hand using dispel magic on the old hand.
Okay. Go for it. Make a spell ability check. Just make a wisdom check and we'll add your proficiency in there.
Oh, I also want to try to raise that if they do trip on the wire, they end up falling onto a dagger that's pointing up.
Okay. That's easy enough.
Wow.
Okay. Just make it worse and worse for yourself.
Well, no, because
So
if I
you're not
create a
setting
trap,
it
I'm
to
gonna be falling
stun.
outwards, not onto the dagger. Also, I would have to disable the tripwire before I open the door.
So the effect that got your hand was definitely a powerful one, but in the moment you know enough about it and how to defeat it so that you can get most of your feeling and your motion back in that hand. It still is like discolored and a little bit wrinkly, but you no longer have disadvantage on sleight of hand. And also with the additional rest you get, you no longer have your reduced proficiency. So you're pretty much all good except for minor things like your eye and your hand still being a little funky, but it's workable now.
Just get the
Speaking of-
minor thing of your eye being stone.
I'm gonna remove my eye and set it like looking at the door, just in case. And I'm gonna go to sleep
But then
like
you
that.
can't close your eyes.
Yes,
then.
that is kind of an issue. You now close your eyes, but you still see an image of the door, and it's definitely something that's going to take getting used to.
I'm gonna give it a try at least. If I can't, if I don't sleep, what happens? Do I get exhaustion?
You would, yes. I'd probably say it'd be like a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, I'm gonna roll for it.
Okay.
Saving. Here you are. Thank you.
Yeah, you're able to push through it. It'll be a little bit easier next time you try it. But
You know, one of
you
those
had a
people that
good,
sleeps
you
with
had
their
a
eyes open.
full night's of sleep this night, and that's probably a good stopping
Correct.
place for the session as well.
Yeah, totally. We made it. We're out.
We're gonna get fucking murdered.
For a definition of out.
Probably.
We're totally out. Everything's perfect. We can get back to our regular lives.
The very good result of there not being any large ships here is we're somewhat close to other large ports, so you only need a
In
small
theory,
boat
yeah.
to get over to them. The more probable answer is that we're right in the middle of fucking the ocean and no one knows it's here.
I mean, we could find a map. Someone has to have a map. Right?
It's a cult.
Or I guess, like, we could, spend some time, reading the stars to figure out exactly where we are in the world.
Does anyone happen to have the sailor background?
I grew up in the dirt.
Yeah, but like,
I think so.
I traveled for a living, so I should be able to read the stars enough to get a general location.
Yeah, with enough time, I think you'd be able to
Yeah.
figure it out.
Like, I'd not be able to navigate, but I could tell you, like, kind of like where the most likely next, like, where our homes are in relation to where we are now. Yeah.
Go in that general direction.
Yes.
That's all we need, though. So.
But I'm heading out. See you guys.
Yep, see ya.
Good night.
Okay, guys. See you. Bye.
Later.